Guys, welcome back to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty, where on this channel, our vision is to empower the impoverished by helping you find financial freedom through crypto assets. Please subscribe and leave a comment and a thumbs up. Hey guys, welcome back, DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty. So today, going to be covering the dogs crediting. I'm going to give you the TLDR so you don't have to listen to the whole thing. So just a disclaimer, I will be playing the actual audio from Forex, and that's about 15-20 minutes, I think. So the first half talks about the new tax that's going to be going into the system for dogs vesting and crediting. And then the second half of it talks about how the LP will be handled. So I'm going to give you the TLDR now, as short as possible. But basically, if you want the full thing, you can listen to the rest of the video and go into the Animal Farm Telegram group and type /latest, and you'll get some information from the Rosebot. But basically, there will be a 90% tax on the dogs from the initial. And that tax gets lowered with two different loyalty scores based on your behavior: a constant loyalty score and an instant loyalty score. So the goal for you is, if you want the little or least amount of tax possible, which will be the 6% that was always there, then you want to stake your dogs and you'll be able to earn crediting back on that. The constant loyalty score will be based on the behavior of the wallet, and the highest, or it gets capped at 30%. And the instant is based on the actual dogs that you have initially. So say you have 100 dogs and you get that credit score down, loyalty score down, then those dogs you sell will be impacted by the instant loyalty score. And once you sell them, it'll reset. But you can always have a 30% kind of buffer if you have, I don't know what the timeline will be, but basically having the dogs staked until that score gets there. The second half of it talks about the dogs BUSD. So basically everyone that had any sort of dogs, be it dogs BUSD, dogs WBNB, or dogs by themselves, will be credited here. And that's where some issues arise, because people are upset about, having this, if you had dogs BNB or dogs BUSD and you're only getting dogs. So let's say you had, like me, if I had $100 here, it would all now be in the form of dogs. And now with dogs, there's that new tax or vesting model. So people who wanted to dump will end up having to incur a large fee, so they're not happy. But again, if you trust in Forex and the vision and what he's trying to do long term, then you have to understand that he's trying to do stuff that will make the system bullish for a long term. And remember, we were able to earn dogs while the farm was paused. So that means for 4 months, people earned dogs. So therefore, there is a lot of capital that was earned and dogs that were earned. And of course, people would be dumping those on the market. So remember, you were earning dogs in these pools. So some of the YouTubers you saw had like really large amounts of dogs. So let's just say, or were earning dogs because they had large amounts of liquidity in here. And let's say they had like 1 million dogs. Well, if they had that capital, get access to that capital, then they could turn around and sell it. And then, that just creates a big bank run on the system, as Forex mentioned, because that's a lot of people earning capital they didn't have access to, and now they do. And with the pauses and the issues they had, it could just lead to all of them just dumping. So he had to create something that would make this survive and be a system he can build on top of. So I think this vesting model is really bullish for the long term. And again, if you believe in the project, then you will be happy with that as well. So the main point of this is that you'll be credited into the dog's single asset staking pool by itself, and all of your value will be there. So even if you had it somewhere else. One other thing to note is that the new farms, these farms are now earning pigs. So these stable LP pools used to earn dogs, but now they're earning pigs in the new farm. I don't know if this is a typo or not. I'm assuming this is actually correct, but you see in the old one, it earned dogs and now it's earning pigs. So that's interesting to see that all the new LPs will be earning pigs. So this does add some more game theory to the entire farming system. So now there's like equal amounts of or abilities to earn dogs and pigs depending on where you're staking and doing your farming. So that will be it for those that want to tap out. That's under 5 minutes. Let's get into the actual audio from Forex so you guys can hear it straight from the GOAT himself. All right.
Eventually, when you buy dogs or farm dogs or get credited dogs, which that will only happen once at the beginning, but when you are credited your dogs, all dogs essentially have a tax associated with it that starts out very high, but then through staking those dogs on the platform, you gain a loyalty score. And as this loyalty score increases, the tax you pay on the dogs is reduced. And there's two loyalty scores. There's a constant loyalty score and there's a instant loyalty score. And I'm using this terminology just to to explain it to someone that may not be aware of the system or even DeFi in general. When we have the when I release the documents, the names of these things are slightly different, and of course, it will go into a lot more details in the documents. But the concept is when you stake the dogs on the platform, specifically in the single asset dogs staking pool, you earn a constant loyalty score and an instant loyalty score. The instant loyalty score is only applied to those tokens you staked. So you stake the dog tokens, and as you stake them, you're earning BNB. This BNB is coming from the dogs that are sold and the tax that's applied to them. So the lowest you can reduce your tax through increasing your loyalty score is 6%. So regardless of when or how long someone's staked for, there's always some tax associated with selling dogs. And that generates BNB, which is then paid to the single asset dog staking pool. Now, the tax that you pay on these dogs is relative to your instant loyalty score and your constant loyalty score. So by instant loyalty score, how that works is you stake 100 dogs, and as you have these 100 dogs staked, you're earning an instant and a constant loyalty score. The instant loyalty score is only relative to the dogs that you have staked. And this is made very clear on the front end because when you go to sell these dogs, in order to sell them with a reduced tax, you have to sell them on our front end. It acts as Pancake Swap on the back end, but you sell them on our front end, and on our front end, it will tell you you have 100 dogs staked for 4 months. This has reduced your tax on these 100 dogs down to say 6%. So you can sell these dogs for a much lower tax because you've built up your loyalty score on the system. But this instant loyalty score only applies to those specific dogs. But you've also built up a constant loyalty score, which is building up over the life of your use of the system. So if you have a loyalty score of say 100, an instant loyalty score of 100, say, on 1,000 dog tokens, and you sell those 1,000 dog tokens, your instant loyalty score will be reduced to 0. So if you buy new dogs or you farm new dogs, or you have new dogs sent to you, and you stake them, you're going to be starting at 0 as far as an instant score. But because you already had dogs staked previously, you will have a constant loyalty score of, say whatever the value is. So it's reduced your tax down by say 10%. Now, for the life of that wallet, for the life of that account, your tax will always be reduced by 10%. So it doesn't matter if you buy new dogs or farm new dogs, because your constant loyalty score has increased because you've used the system. You're always going to pay less of a tax on dogs. And the instant loyalty score is relative specifically to the tokens that you've had staked. So this will be more clear when we provide the documentation and the you're able to see it on the UI. But the main concept and the reason why we're doing it like this is because it's a form of vesting, in the sense that yes, you can sell your dogs at any point, whether they're credited or you buy them or you farm with them. But if you are not staking them for some period of time, you're going to pay a high tax on selling them. And 100% of that tax that's applied to the dogs is swapped for BNB and BUSD. 2/3 of it goes to the single asset dog staking pool in the form of BNB. 1/3 goes to the pig pen in the form of BUSD. So this is also going to generate a ton of capital for the pig pen as well. And the reason why we have two loyalty scores is because we don't want a system where someone can stake a small amount of tokens for some period of time to build up a loyalty score, and now for the life of that account, for the life of that wallet, they pay little to no tax on any of their dogs that they buy, because that would provide a system where someone could set up a wallet, for example, stake $2 worth of dogs. Now they've built up a high loyalty score. Now they could sell access to that wallet, or just decide, all right, I have no tax now. Now I'm going to whale in, and now I'm going to trade with no tax. So the way it works is the instant loyalty score is placed specifically on a specific amount of tokens, and that's the amount of tokens you've had staked. And now the constant loyalty score is based on your account, how active you've been in the system for your account. And the constant loyalty score is capped at 30%, which means it can reduce your tax up to 30% for the life of the account. So if you say you buy 1,000 dog tokens, or you farm 1,000 dog tokens, you get credited 1,000 dog tokens, and you stake them for a year, and you've built up your loyalty points. You've maxed them out. So now the tax on selling those dogs is only 6% on those 1,000 dogs. And you've also, because you've been staked for a year, maxed out your constant loyalty score as well. So that's maxed out. So now it's reducing it by 30. The way this will work is, now you sell all 1,000 of those dog tokens. Your instant loyalty score will be reduced down to 0, but you'll maintain that constant loyalty score, meaning any dogs you buy or farm in the future at any point from that wallet will have the tax reduced by 30%. So it rewards people for being long-term participants in the system, both on specific tokens where you can reduce it all the way down to almost nothing, and for being a long-term participant in the system on all tokens that you are transacting as well. So I believe it's a system that's going to work very well, and it's really it's really a matter of producing the documentation and providing the front end to people to really make the concept crystal clear so people understand it. But the reason why it's so bullish, and really this kind of system could be done from the ground up, but it's even more bullish in the current situation that we're in, is because there's anywhere between 30 and 50 million dollars worth of capital backing the dog's token right now. So when these dogs get credited and they have a form of vesting in the form of a 90% tax placed on them instantly, it allows weak hands, if you want to dump right away, if you want to get your dog tokens and instantly dump, that's fine, you can do that. But you're taking 90% of that capital, of that value, and turning it into BNB and BUSD that's getting paid to the stakers, paid to the strong hands. Now, you can take those dogs and stake them in the single asset dog staking pool, and that's going to reduce your tax down all the way down to 6%. So you're only paying a 6% tax, and that whole time while you've been staked, you're earning BNB. And it acts as a form of vesting where, regardless of how we decide to do it, we needed some form of vesting in the dogs token, because you can't just send out the total supply of tokens at once to people's wallets and allow them to put those tokens right on the market. That's not good for anybody, because you're going to have a bank run. You're going to have people saying, well, even people that want to hold, they're going to have the mindset that, all right, I want to hold, I want to stay in, but some percentage of people are going to dump when they get their tokens, so I better dump first, and then I can buy back in lower. So to prevent that, you need some kind of vesting. But I didn't want a traditional vesting model where, say, we lock up 90% of the tokens, we make 10% available immediately, and then we unlock, say, 2 or 5% or 10% a week, for example, because then people are just going to sell the tokens as they get them, and it's going to be a bleed.
Yeah.
Where in this case, it's the best of both worlds, where you are getting vesting because people are not going to want to dump with that massive tax associated with it. But we all know some people are going to dump, but those people that do dump are just generating a ton of capital for the people that are not dumping. And the reason why it's so bullish for new investors is because even if 100% of the people that were credited dump, fine. All they've done is created $30 to $40 million worth of BNB and BUSD that are going to get paid out to the new buyers and the people that don't dump. And then
Right.
if you're getting credited and you decide not to dump, you decide to stake, you have all of the benefit of someone that is a new buyer, because you're able to stake those dogs immediately and start earning BNB from the people that do dump. So, and reduce your tax down all the way to 6%. 6% on the tokens that are staked, and reduce the tax up to 30% on all dogs that you buy after that. And then the dogs that you buy after that, yes, they'll be, if your constant loyalty score is built all the way up, you'll start off with the 30% reduction in tax, but you can also stake those dogs to reduce it all the way down to 6% as well. It's just going to take you less time to do that, because you're starting off with a 30% head start. So it's the perfect game theory, I feel, for the situation. And it's even more bullish than if we started off from the ground up, because we're starting off with a huge capital pool that can be used to reward strong hands, and it's just essentially a value transfer from weak hands to strong hands.
All right, there you have it. So I didn't play the second half because I know a lot of you guys already tuned out. Second half just talks about where these will be paired, and I already mentioned that. So he said there's like 87% of the token supply was in the single asset dog staking pool. So 87% was here. So the bulk of people are going here. Then there was 13% that is in Dogs BUSD, Dogs BNB, but the people in here will all be credited in the Dogs single asset staking pool. So that's where some people, like I said, are a little upset because the value that they had BUSD here is now like it was a stable coin, and they would like to at least get that back. But Forex said he can't do any of this game theory mechanics or programmability on LP tokens because those are just standard ERC20 tokens. So he had to do something, and this was the best something he could do. And to me, it makes the most sense. I mean, again, if only 13%, let's just round it up to 20% were in these two combined, then 80% of the community probably supports it. So it doesn't really matter. It's always a few stragglers that aren't happy, of course, but you can't please everybody, especially in DeFi when you're talking about making money or losing money. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you found it useful. As always, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.